Hello. So today we're going to go over a lot of Excel. We'll talk about the layout. We'll talk about adding numbers to each cell, and we will talk about a couple of formulas. We have done um, addition, the sum formula, average. Today we'll look into max formula. We'll look at the minimum formula, and also we'll look at references. So the first thing we're going to start with is we will just start putting some numbers in, and I will start with income and expenses sheet. Okay, so this is where I'll put income, and I just wrote income, and as you can see on my cell, the name of the cell is A1, and where do I see it? Right up here. Okay, it's a name box. Now I can name it whatever I like, but in this case, I'm not gonna say anything. So I'll just write income and expense sheet and income and expense sheet. And in order for me to format it, I'm gonna use my home tab. I'm on my home tab. So as we have discussed that there are multiple tabs, we'll go to home tab, and this group that we have right here is gonna help us format this. So I'm gonna go to make it bold, and I'm going to increase the size using this letter, or I can use right here 18. Okay, this is good. Now as you see that my letters that I have income and expense sheet has expanded to 4 columns. I can leave it like that, but when I come to the borders, right, and if I want to put a border around income and expense, this is how it will look, right? But I want to make sure that even if I go, let's say if I go here, let me reduce the size here. Go here and reduce the size. You see, as I reduce the size, the column appears right here. So you see the border appears right here. The reason for that is because these cells are individual cells, so when I added the border, I added a border that was all border. So it was adding it in the middle too. So what I will do is rather than, I will actually increase the size here. I will merge these cells, okay? So in order for me to merge these cells, I'm gonna go click on the cell number, cell name A1 and drag it to D1, or I can click on A1 and press and hold it, click on A1, press and hold shift key, and then go click on D1, and it will select the whole A1 from D1. So this is selected, and I will go to my next group right here, right underneath the wrap text one. I'm going to say merge and center. So now this income and expense sheet is now merged and centered. Okay. Now first I'm going to start with income. Okay, and I can change the font here. I'm going to say Times New Roman is going to be my font here. Times New Roman is going to be my font. All right, now I'm going to go here. How am I making this money? So let's say this business is hotel business, right? Or a restaurant, right? Hotel and restaurant. So how do I make money? So let's look at it. I make money by different services. So I provide different services. Let's say massage and spa services, whatever, right? Services. Then I do it by room rent. Then I do it by, let's say, car parking. We're charging for car parking too. And then restaurant. Okay. I'm gonna make it bold because I want to make it look a little different than the rest. And then I'm gonna say it's monthly sales. So it's monthly sales. So we'll do January here. January. All right. Now I'm gonna move it to the right like this. Okay, so now as you see, I'm dragging it down. Okay, let's do it one more time. Okay, I wrote January, and now in order for me to autofill it on the right, I'm going to go to the bottom right, and where there's a little square, and I want to make sure that I have this black plus sign or a cross sign, and I'm going to move it to the right, and this will help me move the date like this, and we'll do it till November and December. Okay. Now here, this thing autofill appears, and this is saying fill series. So I had a fill series. If I just do copy cell, then it's all January will be there. Okay. I can change it to fill series. Okay. Now, what I want to do is, because this is only exercise, so I'm not going to add all the months. I'm just going to do January and February. So I'm going to click on March, and I'm going to click on December and delete it. Okay. This is one of the ways to do it. Other way is I press on March and then pressed on, press on March, press Command key on Mac or Control key on Windows PC, press Shift and right arrow key to select everything every cell that is filled, and it will select that. And now if I want to delete it, I'll just delete it. So it's a very quick way to do it. It's a shortcut. Let's do it one more time. So I click on March, press my Command key or Control key, press Shift and right arrow key, and boom, selected, done. I can do the same thing here. If I want to select from top to bottom, if I want to select in the column, press Command Shift, bottom key, down arrow key, and we'll select. Okay, so we are in January, February. Let's highlight this. Center align it. How am I center aligning it? I'm on my home tab, go to the second group here and center align it. Okay, now I'm going to add services here. How much money I made through my different spa services or something? $45,000. How much I made through rent? I had, let's say, 20 rooms in my let's do 100 rooms. 100 rooms, every room was rented every day, and $100 every day. So in a month, we did, let's say 31 days. So it's difficult for me to add. So what I will do is I will leave it empty for a minute because we'll do something different, something crazy here. Okay, car parking I made, actually, you know what, for now, we'll just give some number. We'll say we made $100,000, but then we'll do something crazy. Car parking, we made $5,000. Restaurant, we made $30,000. Okay. And then in the month of February, we made $42,000. We made $95,000. Car parking made $4,000. Restaurant we made $29,000. Okay. Now expenses. What kind of expense we have? So we have to pay for the rent. We have payroll, taxes, cost of goods, and then other expenses, utilities and stuff. Okay. I'm going to make it bold here. Now, rent is straightforward, $3,500. But now, and this is same for every month, and bottom here I'm gonna say, and you see how it's coming up a little bit on this next cell. So I'm gonna go here and rearrange this a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna say net income. Okay, net income will be the total. So I'm gonna add total here, total, and I'm gonna right align this one. Okay, by pressing this button right here, and I'm gonna right align this one too. And I'm going to, actually I'll do, right align, and I'll do total for this one. And I will do right align this one too. So total expense, total income. Okay. Let's add a layer. Let's add another row on top of expense. How do I do this? I'm going to click on row 9. So you see how I selected the row 9. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on insert. Boom, that's added on. Same thing I'm going to do it here right above my net income. I'm going to right click and hit insert. Now, so it is kind of difficult for me to, I can run numbers and I can put the number there, but I want to show you something a little bit different. So let's say I'm going to say payroll, right? So I'm right here, all of this. Yeah. I'm going to select this, copy this, Control C, copy, and I'm going to put this here. Okay. Put this here, and I'm going to say and I'm going to merge these two cells. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say how much percentage of payroll tax I have for as expense. So I'm going to say 25% is my payroll that goes from my expenses. Taxes, let's say I say 10% goes as taxes. Cost of goods is about, let's say 30 or let's say 40%. And other utilities are about 25%. Okay. So this is what I have. This is why I'm assuming that it is, right? So now, how would I say that how much money that I spend on my payroll, how much money I spend on my taxes, how much money I spend on my goods? So this is the total of my income. Okay, total to 25% of my total income is the payroll. Okay, how would I do that? First, I need to know what is my total income. My total income, I'm going to do it using my formula, sum, and I'm going to choose this. Oh, sorry. Equal. What did I do wrong? I think I've missed the parentheses, right? Okay, so parentheses are super important. Don't miss them. Okay, I did this right here. And I'm going to highlight this row, or actually I'll just do 3 cells right here. And when I'm dragging it, I made sure that my white cross with black borders is highlighted, right? This is a selection cursor. So selection cursor has to be there. I clicked on my selection cursor and select all 3. And I'm going to change the background right here. Okay. And let me do this here too. Change the background color. Okay. Now I go in here. So I did this 18,000. Now I'm going to click and drag it to the right because my sum formula is going to be carried. So let's look at the formula here. It says sum from B4. If you look at this is the formula bar. B4. So this is B4 to B7. This one is C4 to C7. Okay. Very good. I also want to make sure that this is all dollar values, right? So I'm going to select this and just change into dollar value quickly. How did I do this? I went there, selected this full range from my B4 to C8, right? And went again in my home tab, went to this group right here and chose my dollar. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Chose my dollar. And actually, I'm going to move this. I'm going to cut this right from here. And I'm going to put it right in front of this. Okay. And I'm going to give a nice big border right here. Thick border. Change the background color here so that it looks kind of cool. Okay. Now I have the total income for January. Now, how do I make sure that I say that the total income that my payroll is 25% of the total income? The easiest way to do it is by, I'm going to put an equal sign. So this is the total income. I'm going to click here, multiplied by the 25% the payroll tax that I have. When I do this, automatically it tells me the 45% or $45,000 is the payroll that I'm going to be paying. Okay. Then I'm going to copy this here Now, when I copied this here, there's something happened, and it did not give me the value that I'm looking for because I wanted the value for the 25% of $170,000. Okay, so let's look at it and see what the problem. What is the problem? Okay, now I'm going to click here and look at my formula bar. Okay, now within my formula bar, I needed two things. Let's go back to the one that we have the value for. I needed my total income, that is $180,000. And then I needed and so B8 is the reference to the cell right here. Okay, so I have that. Then F11 is a reference to this cell, so I have that. So this is good. So let's look at here what went wrong. Okay, so I'm going to click here and actually double click here. Now, I needed C8, so I got C8. That's great. Oh, there's a problem right here. I did not need G11. I actually needed F11. So why did that happen? Okay, let's look at the reason. Now, when I put 1, 2, right, and I put this series here. So this is a cell G3 has a value of 1. H3 has a value of 2. Now if I say equal this, I'm giving a reference to cell G3. Now whatever value I put it in here, that's the value that will be copied. Okay, so I'm putting 7 there, and 7 is going in G4. I put 12 in G here, 12 comes in. Now when I want to copy this formula, so this is a formula, right? Equal G3, whenever I put an equal sign, this is a formula, it's a reference to that cell. What I want to do is I want to copy everything that is in row 4 under each column, copies to row 5, okay, or row 4, sorry. I'm gonna fill it. Now, anytime I change here, it's gonna change the reference change, right? So what does that mean? Is when I did copy this formula, right, it changed my reference. So earlier it was G3, right? It is G3 equal G3. Now I'm going to move it to G5. So let's look at H4. It says H3, I3, J3, K3. It is not G3 anymore. Why? Because it is giving a reference to the cell, and when I did the autofill, it moves my my column. When I do it horizontally within a row, and I move and I fill it within a row, it changes my column. If I do it using my within the column, then it changes the row. Okay, I'll do it here, and I'll do a flash fill. Oh, sorry. Okay, so if you see right here, G3, G4, G5, G6. Okay, so now it changes the row. Here it changes. Look up here, right here, it's 2, but look right here, it says H3. I go here, I3. I go here, J3. Right, so I'm going to go here, clear this. Now, I did the same thing here. I clicked and dragged it to the right. So what it did, it dragged the reference from B8 to C8, and that's good. But other reference that I had was with F11. So when I moved it from here and I filled it here to the next cell C12, what happened is it changed the reference from F11 to G11 because it changed the column. So what I want to make sure that does not happen. Okay, so for that purpose, there is something called absolute reference. Okay, we're going to give an absolute reference to this cell. So how do I give an absolute reference? Is I go here and put a dollar sign. Oh, sorry. Dollar sign. Now, it is saying that if I move, sorry, right here. So now what it is saying now here is if I move from horizontally, right, from my column to column, if I copy from this column to here, then it will not change the reference of my column. But if I move from here to here, and you will see what will happen. Actually, let me just leave it here. And I'll do the same thing here. Now the numbers are not working for both. What is the problem? And I'm sure you all know it, that my reference has changed. So here was B8. Now my reference is to B9. Here my reference is to F12. I did not want it. Oh yeah, here I wanted Texas, so F12 is fine. But there will be another problem there too. So here, F3, 13. Yeah, cost of goods, okay, fine. This is what I wanted a reference to, but I did not want a reference to C10. So how do I fix this? I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to put a dollar sign. Will it solve my problem? Let's check, okay? I'm going to click this here, and remember, I put this dollar sign in front of my B, okay? I'm going to bring it down. Still, the problem is not solved. Why? Because of the fact that it's still giving me the reference of B9. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here. This time I am not going to say, I'm not going to put the dollar sign here. Okay, I'm going to put the dollar sign in front of 8. Now, whenever I'm putting the dollar sign, that it's an absolute reference to that row or to that column. So when I put a dollar sign in front of B, that means it is an absolute reference to my column B. So when I move my column, when I move left or right, it does not change the reference from that column. When I move it up and down, it will change my row. Okay, but now when I put in front of 8, so now it's an absolute reference to that column, to that what you may call to that row, 8. So that's good. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to move this like this. Okay, this is good. This is good. Now I'm going to go here and move it down like this. Okay, now perfect. So if you see, it is giving me a reference to this cell, total income, and it's also giving me a reference to taxes. Very good. Cost of good, other utilities. Now what I will do is I'll just select all this and copy it once. Boom. It's all working now. Okay. So again, it is a little bit complicated, especially when you come to the concept of references. But just remember, the dollar sign represent the absolution of certain thing, either the row or a column, or both. Let's say I can do both. Not this when I put dollar sign in front of the column and dollar sign in front of the row, that means it's an absolute reference to this cell. So I'm talking to dollar $B8, right? Dollar $B8 will never change. It will stay up and down, right? But that is not what I want, is because when I move from left and right, you'll see now, when I move from here to here, you see it changed. Why? Because now it is giving me a reference from January. That's a wrong thing to do. I don't want that. So I'm going to make sure I go here. And when I move it, I do want a reference to February now. Okay, great. I hope you guys understood it. Pause it. If you rewind, pause, whatever you like. And you can email me if you guys like, if you have any questions. Okay, so let's add some again. Some parentheses. I don't want to forget parentheses, and parentheses closed. Do not want to forget that. And then this is the total expense that I have. And then I'm going to go here, and this is my total expense of February. Let's do total income. So total expense minus total income. Oh my God, my business is going into loss, right? So I'll go total expenses, total income minus total expense. And my business is in the loss. Now, the fun part is, let's say if I change it, I change it here and I say, instead of 40%, it is 30%. See, suddenly everything changed, and that's the benefit of having it, creating something like this, where one number changes and that helps you update your whole spreadsheet very quickly. And I'm going to name this sheet here. I can double click on this, or I can right click and rename. Okay, and I'm going to call it income and expense sheet. Okay, I can change the color for this tab color to be blue. All right, so now you see how I have added this here, and that is in front of my expenses. So let's say if I start working on my different other months, then this one will not work because this is right in front of it. So what I can do is I can take this and I can put it in another other sheet. I'm going to click on. Let me actually redo it. Oh, sorry. I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to delete this row, and I'm going to do it one more time. So I'm going to click on the plus sign right here, and I'm going to name it. Okay, and I'm going to cut this right here, so I can press this button right here, cut, or I can press Command or Control X. Control X or Command X. When I do this, go to percentage, the next sheet that I made, and go to cell A1 and paste it. Boom, right? Now, let's go here and see. And see when I cut it from there, right? So I want you to go here and look at it, what happened. Now it is giving me something else here. It's not saying B8. It's saying percentage, exclamation mark, then $ B8. What does that mean is because I changed my sheet, so Excel is very clever. It understood that I moved it from point A to point B, or sheet 1 to sheet 2. So it puts the name of that sheet and my reference still stays there. So it's a very beautiful and intelligent system that understands it, and that whenever you see percentage and explanation sign or something here, explanation sign, that means now it is giving a reference to another sheet. Okay, so now I can go here and I can change something here. Okay, so I'm doing better. Cost of goods is only 25%. Taxes are, and payroll, I did better, so 20%. And I go back now, suddenly you will see that my net income has changed. Okay, so this is a very good, way to analyze your net sales and stuff. Okay, we're going to look at our another formula called max income. So where is my max income coming from? Okay, max income, max expense. Oh, okay. The formula for max is max, M-A-X. Now it is asking me to, so I want income, so I'm going to go to my income area and select the range here, close my parenthesis. It's going to tell me 100,000 is your max income. Other one, I'm going to say max, and I'm pressing the tab key, or I'm clicking on that button, max. Oh, sorry, now it's in expense. I'm going to go here. Max expense is $45,000. Great. So I now know exactly what is happening, what is my minimum, what is my max for each month. Now, how do I copy this formula to the next month? So this is for January. Oh, right here. I'm just going to copy it. Boom. Right? Beautiful. It's very simple system, but that helps you understand what can you do, or actually minimum. Let's do minimum too. Okay. Minimum income. Minimum expense. Okay, and here I'm going to go equal sign minimum formula, and then it's an income. So here, and equal minimum right here, and then I will copy them both like this. Okay. You can also use the same formula to find minimum income for yourself, or which month has the minimum income, right? So you can do that too. Okay, and the time is going a little bit longer than what I thought, so I'm going to quickly go over graphs, and then we're going to use the same sheet later on, and I will create another other video for you to know more about based on the data that we have. So I'm going to stop in a few minutes, and then we'll pick up in the next video from where we are at. Okay, so I'm going to save it. How do I save it? I click on File, Save As, and I want to make sure that I save it in as an Excel file, and I'm going to name it Income and Expense. And I want to write the names. Whenever you write some name, you want to make sure that you can understand what you're writing in. What is that sheet about? Otherwise, it starts getting confusing. Okay. Done. Okay. So let's do a couple of graphs. Okay. So I'm going to go to my insert. Okay. And here I'm going to choose a data, income, this data right here. Okay. I'm going to go to my graph, and I can build different graphs. Okay, so it is now telling me that in January, this is what I have. In February, this is what I have. Okay, you can actually go ahead and go to my chart design. You can change the chart design, or you can change something like this. Okay, now this is great for 2 months, but when you start going into multiple months, then you don't probably want to have it written in this way. You'll have to find a better graph that can actually give you a better understanding, because the purpose of the graph is giving you a quick understanding of what exactly is happening. Okay, so I'm going to delete this graph, and then I'm going to go here, January month, insert a graph here, and I will go, I'll use this one. Now January month right here, boom. But again, this is right. This is not what I want, because I would like to have a little bit different way of my graph. So what I will do is I'll say switch rows and columns. So now it makes a little bit more sense that January sales and they're very close to each other. I can actually go another graph. I can go a line graph. Right? I can go right here, this graph, January, February, what are the sales going on, and how it's moving, which direction it's moving. I'm not sure why is this plot giving me direction of up. Okay. But again, there are multiple graphs that are available to you guys, and it's just the purpose of what you're using it for. So let's say if I go here and I say, okay, for the month of January, I need to know in the form of pie chart. So I'll go here and it will give me a pie chart, and then I can go a little bit more crazy with the pie chart. So I spend 55%, or my income was coming 55% from my room rents, right? So I can have month of January right here. Then I can draw another month here, insert graph, a pie chart. Here I now know that 56% in February was done by room rent. So right, so it's a very quick understanding, and graphs do give you a very quick understanding of where things are happening. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to stop my video here. Hopefully you guys learned something, but we'll talk more. I'll upload a new video soon, but please review this video. We have talked a lot of things in this video. I will be asking you questions about the different references and absolute reference, and you will have to modify data based on what we learned today. Okay, good luck to you guys. Talk to you soon.